That is one of the biggest wins and shocks in championship history. Laois coming through against Dublin here in O'Moore Park, and like there's so many heroes for Laois in this game. But first of all, the fact that they won. She's looking for Billy. The fact that they lost or won the Joe McDonagh final, they were supposed to just show up here and get beaten by Dublin, but that was their season done. People had talked about how they'd been on the beer for a couple of days after the Joe McDonagh final, which they're well entitled to, but it didn't affect them in this game at all, and maybe Dublin showed up and expected to win the game. And I know from being in a dressing room with Matty Kenny for 5 years that that's not the way he would have seen it, that he probably would have seen that Laois should be looking for an ambush here. They've been talking themselves down all week, but the scenes here, especially on the final whistle, like Laois they were very close to a shot back in 2014 against Galway. They were a couple of points down, had a 21-yard free, which if they had to score would have won them the game. Here, Enda Rowland made a save from a 21-yard Sean Moran free right at the end, and that gave them the victory as well. He flicked it up over the bar, and this is after the goalkeeper scored 2 frees from inside his own 45 to put Laois in the front as well. An awful lot of heroes for Laois in this game. One that definitely stands out has to be Aaron Dunphy. He got 1-2, really good little flick to the net after Mark Kavanagh drew a save out of Alan Nolan. Willie Dunphy scored 4 points. He was out in the middle sector a lot, wing forward as well, like the positions didn't really mean a whole pile. He was really good as well. Ross King got a point there in the first half. Chad Dwyer as well, even though he was starved of possession in the second half. In the back, John Lennon went as the sweeper in the back line for Laois, and the key for the Laois defenders is that they were all attacking the ball out in front, because if you have a sweeper there's no point in marking from behind. So the Laois backs did exactly that, coached by Eddie Brennan and Niall Corcoran as well. Tommy Fitzgerald obviously have a great backroom team there, and Niall Corcoran, who's a Kilmacud Crokes player, he would know those Dublin players very well from playing in club action, not to mention with his own club as well. Ronan Hayes and Oisin O'Rourke were part of the inside line for Laois, and he plays with them at club level, so that can't be understated. The thing that really impressed me about Laois is the fact that they used the ball so well. Even towards the end, when Dublin levelled the game, you would have thought at that stage the perceivably fitter team is going to kick on, that Laois would panic, get that white line fever, but they still worked the ball out from the back, took it up the field, threw the ball over the bar, always looking for the right man. There was a couple of instances towards the end. Was it Stephen Bergen won a ball just inside the 45 over here. He could have panicked, he could have tried to take a shot over his shoulder at Dublin, as Dublin had done so many times throughout the game. Instead, handed the ball out, and Aaron Dunphy threw the ball over the bar to put Laois in a commanding position. 17 wides, 16 wides for Dublin over the course of the game. You can't be doing that. So many shooting, so many shots from silly angles. So many of the big players didn't really get involved. Like players who really impressed in the game against Galway, the likes of Chris Crummy, didn't get involved as much as he normally would. Keane Boland was quite good in the sense that he got 2 points. Didn't get on a whole pile of ball as the game was wearing on, but neither were any of the Dublin forwards, and he was the one who was taken off, which I thought was strange. Oisin O'Rourke had a couple of frees that he knows he should have put over. They went awry. Eamon Dillon didn't get on enough ball as well, and just overall, like Dublin were missing a ball winner on the inside. Liam Rush was injured, his ankle has been an issue. Maybe they could have rested him or could have risked him, but then again he was under so much pressure against Galway and it wasn't happening for him because he couldn't move. Couldn't risk him there either. Mark Shute has been out for a while as well. He wasn't there to be risked either, because I saw him beforehand and he wasn't right. And just so many of the Dublin guys didn't get into it. Enda Rowland with those crazy frees toward the end are the thing that really stand out. But finally, Laois have that landmark win. They nearly got it in 2014 against Tipperary now next weekend at Croke Park. Everyone will expect Tipperary to absolutely annihilate Laois, but Tipperary are coming off the back of a bad hiding themselves, whereas Laois are coming in on the back of a couple of big victories. Look at a couple of those Laois lads, they look pretty happy after that win, and why wouldn't they? Laois hadn't been in Croke Park for 15 years before this season. Now they're going to be there twice in the space of 3 weeks, and they should give Tip a good game of it. Tip will be expected to win well, but Laois are on cloud 9 at the moment, and why wouldn't they be?